Okay, let's jump to the story of this travelogue. So Vikram Seth in this travelogue, he is telling about his visit to Kathmandu. In Kathmandu, he actually visits the two very popular temples. So these two temples, one temple is which is sacred to Hindus and the other one is for Buddhists. So these two temples are different temples, and one is where Hindus they worship and one place Buddhist they worship. And you might have heard it's very famous temple. One is Pashupati Nath. It is a pilgrimage of Hindus, and there is a board outside the temple that only Hindu devotees are allowed to enter in. So this temple has entry only for Hindu devotees, and they can only enter inside the temple. Now, as the writer Vikram Seth, he goes to the temple, he sees there is a lot of chaos near the temple. There's a lot of people who are running here and there. There are tourists who have come to visit this place, and it is surrounded by a lot of people. It is surrounded by priests also. In Hindi we say Panditji. So many people are there. Then there are hawkers also who are screaming and selling their products. Vendors are there who are shouting and screaming in order to sell whatever they are selling, like food items. It is then some sort of toys are also there to attract the kids. So all kind of things are there in front of the temple. Plus there are also animals like cow is there, dogs are there who are walking the street of the temple, not inside the temple. I'm talking near the temple. So we see that near the temple the scene is completely, there are a lot of things which is happening near the temple. Now as you can see in the picture, this is Pashupati Nath temple. Now there is also river Bhagmati which flows next to the temple. Now next to the temple there is also one very pious river which is flowing, but this river is polluted by the people. How it is polluted? Because people they bathe in it, they come and take baths, as you can say, or bathe in that, and they also wash their clothes and dump flowers into it. Now as you know, the same is with river Ganga also, that even Ganga river is polluted because people they worship, and in order to worship they are actually polluting the river. They are not exactly worshipping, they are polluting the river by throwing flowers into it. Though they are not actually throwing, they are just as a tribute or to show love, they are respect, basically to show respect they are throwing the flowers into the river, but that is actually polluting the river. And moreover people are also washing their clothes. Now there's a small temple that protrudes is that it is coming out. Okay, this is very small temple which is coming out from the bank of the river. Okay, and it is believed, there is one story which is affiliated to this temple, that if the temple would completely emerge out, okay, there is only a little part of only the dome of the temple which is visible right now, the upper dome of the temple, but if the temple would completely come out, if it would completely emerge out, it is believed that it is going to be end of Kali Yuga. Okay, the Yuga, there are 4 yugas, so this era would actually come to an end. It is being believed. Now, the writer Vikram Seth actually shows more about this temple and says that all the places nearby are completely full, and he could feel that there are a lot of people and lot of noises in his head. Next, he moves forward and visits the shrine of Buddhist. Now, Buddhist shrine is also known as Buddhnath Stupa temple, which is in contrast very still and calm place. So, what writer is doing, he is actually comparing the two temples over here. Now, he says when he went to this temple where Buddhists were working, as Buddhists they themselves are very calm and very still people, so that's why the place was very calm and still. He could not feel any chaos which he could feel in the other temple. And then he says that though there are shops also, there are small shops which are outside and which are owned by Tibetan and also known as Tibetan market, but still there is lot of calmness. There's no chaos, there's nobody who is shouting and screaming. The place comparatively is very calm. Then author calls this place as heaven. So why he is calling it a heaven? It is very important. It is also being asked in your questions that a writer is calling it a heaven because it is such a calm, beautiful place where there is no noise and it is completely out of the reach of the people, and everything over here is still and as calm as it is possible. So that's why writer or author is calling it as heaven. Next author is saying this, describing Kathmandu as a vivid and religious culture that attracts several tourists. He's saying that Kathmandu is such a very, first of all, it is a very beautiful place, and secondly, it has a lot of religious culture, and that's why there are many tourists who are attracted and who come from across the world just in order to worship these two temples. Then as he gets out of the temple, then he again feels very hungry, and as he sees a lot of vendors over there, so he gets attracted and gets something for himself. So he buys marzipan. Marzipan is kind of a candy, a kind of a dessert which is made up of fruit, which looks like a fruit, but it is like a cake which is made up of different almonds and nuts basically. Then he also takes a corn on the cob. So kind of corn, sweet corn types corns he purchases, and then he takes spicy masala, and as he has eaten a lot, so he also takes cold drink in order to digest all the food. He takes all these things. Now his trip comes to an end, and it was completely an adventurous trip for him. He has visited a different type of places. He was very happy, and he has also enjoyed different kind of food. Now he was very tired and plans to go back to Delhi. Okay, but as he had plans to go back, so instead of taking a bus, he plans to go on a airplane or by airline, because he feels he is very tired and he cannot go on the bus. So while he is planning all these things, and while he is planning to come out of the hotel and go to airport, so in the between he hears a flute seller playing his flute. So there's a flute seller who is very calmly playing flute, to which he gets very attracted. Okay, he gets so attracted towards it that he's completely listening to the tune of the flute, and he compares it to the voice of human. That how human voice is so different, even the singers who have very pleasant voice, how it is so different, but the flute voice is again, tune is very different and very soothing and calming. So he feels that this flute actually is calming him down, and that was his end of his travel, and that's where he ends his travel journey and his travelogue.